Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. Oh, guys. Oh, the yawn hit me. Guys, Nintendo has public safety on the mind. Before playing this, read the health and safety precautions in the booklet. And for important safety tips about your health, safety, smoking, diet, exercise, sexual habits, get a copy from nintendo.com/health and safety. We're not going to do that because we like to live on the edge, so let's just hop in. In here. Alright, so Battalion Wars. I know nothing about it, other than that it's about war. It's by Nintendo, circa 2005, and it's a game developed by Kuju Entertainment Limited. And if you press start on the title screen, you'll go into the game. Yes, I'm just reading what I see, offering little to no research in advance, but that's why you guys are here, right? You guys come for the hard truths. And there's no harder truth than total honesty. So yeah, this game is a 3D game. I did look it up a little bit. You pilot a tank, patrol and reconnoiter the I don't know what that word is. The demilitarized zone on our border with the Tundran territories. Tundra is gearing up for something, blah, blah, blah. I think we're invading Russia, which I say about time. Did I just get demonetized? Maybe. But you know what? It's in service of the greater good. Screw Russia, guys. Pro-Ukraine, Slava Ukraine, all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Both sides want to kill each other in this video game, but of course, only we, the good guys, are going to win. We're going to battalion them out of existence. I don't think this is skippable. Pretty sure my buttons work, and I don't think this is skippable. So we're getting some background here on... These guys actually look Russian, like if you look at the uniforms and stuff. They seem Russian. The girl looks quite nice. The guy looks kind of like he's showboating, and the dad, the old grandpa, kind of looks like he's an out-of-touch czar. So, alright. I'm getting a bit of sort of like Worms/cannon fodder feel from this one, which I feel like I've said recently in another video as well. But I think a lot of these old games, sort of emulate the Worms and cannon fodder feel to it. Oh, we got like a cheerleader girl. She's like spinning a baton there, although she's also a high-ranking military official. So don't mess with her. She'll mess you back.
Looks like this truce could last a long, long time.
All right, so I really wish I could skip this, but I can't. We just have to sit here.
Men are getting out of shape.
I think we're gonna have to do some drills or something like this. You know what's better than being forced to start on a tutorial level? Being forced to sit through an unskippable cutscene. Although I will say, it's possible my buttons don't work and I'm about to figure it out. But I sat through a whole cutscene, so I really hope they actually do work. It's odd that I wish a cutscene was unskippable, but I kind of wish. Press the X button to get friendly troops to follow you. Press it again. Tap them stay put. Because if it was an unskippable cutscene, it means there was nothing I could do. If my buttons aren't working, it means I could have skipped that had I done things correctly, which means I'm just a fool. So win-win, I guess. Either way. Alright, so we're doing a recon. I'm pretty sure that word was supposed to be reconnaissance on the opening when we got that mission briefing on that map screen, but it did not look like it. Like, unless I'm having a stroke and I can't read. Nope. I can't control my guy. Pretty sure it was supposed to be reconnaissance, but it wasn't written correctly. Head for the gold star, alright.
Press the B button to jump. Now
B button.
Those obstacles. Take out all the target dummies.
Alright.
Show me you've got the right stuff for this patrol.
Seems like a very basic third-person shooter.
If you press and hold the L button,
Oh, you can just hold the gun. I was tapping it. Nothing like a bit of cartoony violence. It's like Bugs Bunny Goes to War here.
And press the B button to execute.
So far the controls are pretty straightforward though.
Then use the control stick to look
Hold the
around.
right button and use the control stick to look around.
Let's check your eyesight, soldier.
Let's see.
Look at one of
The right
sentries
button.
in the watchtowers.
Hold on.
Let's
Am I
check
not
your
pressing it?
eyesight, soldier. Look at one of
The
the
right button.
sentries
Oh, there
in
we
the
go.
watchtowers. Looks like you're in good shape,
There he is.
Commander. This mission is a go. Move out to the next gold
Don't open fire on the sentry. It's a training mission, for God's sake.
in the top left corner of your screen. The flashing gold star.
Does the left
is your
trigger do
objective
nothing?
marker.
So far, I'm actually kind of digging it, to be honest. It's sort of like a gloopy, cartoony, third-person shooter.
Wait a minute.
But yeah.
What's this joker doing in frontier territory?
Oh, spy.
He must be a Tundran spy. After him.
Let's get him. Wait. Are guys up here? Seen guys on the radar. Hooah.
Whoa. Looks like the spy is setting up listening posts on our turf. Destroy them.
I like how they're like, oh, that silly spy. He's setting up spy networks to murder us. That rascal.
Destroy
It's
the
like
Tundran
such
listening
a
posts.
a
Look for the red
G-rated
clicks on your
version of
radar.
war, you know? But it was kind of satisfying to blow those things up, I have to admit. I will admit.
Balloons? Better destroy these eyes in the
Spy
sky so they can
balloons.
report back to Tundran High
Not
Command.
on my watch.
Outstanding.
Okay, I wish the controls were inverted. Why is it that like every game of this era has the controls inverted incorrectly? Okay. I mean, I don't know how to invert them. I guess we'll have to try and do it between missions, but... And the other thing, too, is it's bad when games have inverted controls by default. It's really bad when they have no option to undo them, because all you would have had to do is program a goddamn, like, flag in your game code where up is down and down is up, and you just reverse it. It's so simple. If a game developer skips that, I honestly have a little less respect for the game developer, because, like, come on, man. It's like one of the simplest options in all of gaming to add. Anyone can add. You can hack it in later. And I'm not saying that it's therefore on us to hack it in. No, it's still on you to add it originally. But I'm just saying it's so simple, like, you could probably hack it in quite easily to most games to invert their controls. But nope. Some developers, man. I mean, first of all, don't invert the controls to begin with. If I'm a dude running around, like, you know, in a forest, I'm not a friggin' plane, so down should always be down and up should always be up. It's reversed, like down is up and up is down. I don't know, am I crazy? Am I the only one who doesn't like that? I feel like they don't do that anymore. Like, if you play most modern games, down is down and up is up. They kind of clued in around 2010 that human beings aren't aircraft, and they stopped inverting the goddamn controls. But before then, they were like, you know... People have played flight games before, and we don't want them to be confused that, you know, maybe this human that they're running around on the screen, you know, is piloted in a very similar way as, like, you know, a flight aircraft, so. How do we know the spy isn't in that little gang of folks? Alright, dudes.
Rifle grunts will see the silver shield icon?
Follow
This
me.
means your troops are in sentry mode.
Oh.
Head
Follow
to the
me.
gold star marked on your radar. We're getting reports of a Tundran camp in the area.
We can't have that. Let's go kill him. I love how, like, happy this little commander is. She's like, hey, we've got spies. Get a couple of dudes together and go kill them. And yes, we will.
Tundran soldiers! Target one of them and press the Y button to order your men to attack.
Why? Oh, they seem to be doing it anyway.
When you
There.
want to destroy
Attack
their
that guy.
targets, They will automatically return to follow mode.
Oops.
X button again to get your grunts to return to follow. Free those prisoners,
Okay,
Commander.
X to return to follow mode.
The explosion should be enough to destroy the barbed wire.
Alright, let's do it.
Lock onto the large ammo dump.
I like how my guys just open fire automatically. This is sort of like Nintendo's
Catch up to that
Call of Duty almost, right?
Lock on to the recon unit and use the Z button to jump behind the wheel.
The B button.
Lock on to the recon unit and use the
Oh, the Z button.
Well done. Now
There we go.
We have a spy to catch.
Yeah, this is sort of like Call of Duty or whatever, the one where you, or Medal of Honor, the one where you actually like have a little squad of dudes. And it's also a bit like Halo. This is sort of like their version of Halo. Okay, how do we get out? Oh, it's the end of the level. I will say that the left thumbstick, forward and backwards, moves forward and back, but left and right turns left and right. But I want it to just strafe. Like, I want Halo controls, and then the right thumbstick should be aiming. But GameCube is not doing it correct. So, one, they've got the controls inverted. Two, they don't have the proper thumbstick layout, so... You know, it's an interesting game so far, and I'm going to play more. We'll see what's going on, but I have to just have a lodge a minor complaint, if I may, if you guys are taking complaints that they didn't map my joysticks correctly. So, yeah. I'm getting the feeling, too, they're not going to let us customize it, because why can't you do it in-game, is my question. But we'll see. Also, oh yeah, and the unskippable cutscenes. All those control issues could be aside, but unskippable cutscenes is way worse. Okay, main menu. Hold on, go to the main menu. I just want to see if there's like a controls option anywhere. Settings, alright, perfect. Music, effects. Oh, invert Y-axis. Okay, I have respect for the developers again. Oh shoot, which one? Wait, is it normal or inverted? Crap, I don't know which one I want. We're gonna try normal. I think it's, if it's normal is what I want, then that means they had an option labeled normal, and they don't start you on that, they start you on the one labeled inverted, which makes no sense. It's like starting you on, oh god, I don't even want to think about it. It's just, it doesn't make any sense if that's how they did it, honestly. It's a little foolish. I am a little sad that you can't just map the D-pads to like rework the movement and strafing, but I will at least take inverted controls. I will say the developers thought of it. They added that most basic feature in. If we can figure out how to skip cutscenes, we're in business, folks. We got this one. Okay, none of the buttons I'm pressing. I'm pressing literally every button. These are unskippable. So I'm gonna dock 50 points. Because they didn't allow skippable cutscenes. But I'll give them 20 points back because they do have inverted controls. But if this cutscene goes on any longer, I'm knocking 10 more points off. And I'm gonna also dock 20 points for not mapping the movement controls correctly onto the analog sticks. Like, so I'm moving right now all through the left analog stick. I'm rotating. Now I'm going forward and rotating. And I feel like this is also a very old school way of controlling games. Like nowadays, the left stick is only for moving. It is not for rotating. If you want to rotate, use the right thumbstick, which does other things. Oh, wait. Wait, can I strafe? I don't know if there even is a way to strafe. I'm pressing the D-pad and stuff. I was gonna say, I'm playing this one on an emulator. I could just remap the controls myself, but there isn't even a strafe option. You cannot strafe. Okay, so that's just, I don't know what they're trying to prove. It's like somebody dared them to make a third-person shooter where you can't strafe. That's just, it's like they never played a third-person shooter before, you know? Get him, boys. Get him.
Nailed him! And it looks like he left a medipack behind.
Alright, he left us some health. We'll take it. So I do like how it's sort of like squad-based. You know what it honestly does remind me of is Cannon Fodder. Like this could be a sequel to Cannon Fodder. Oh, when you press the left trigger, by the way, it like just locks on to the most close guy. So right trigger is like to manually aim. Left trigger just locks on. And honestly, once you've locked on, then you can strafe. Like, look at this. I'm holding left trigger, and now I'm strafing. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why didn't they just do it with 2 joysticks? It's like they were trying to prove their method was better. I will say that I know that historically, Nintendo doesn't necessarily pay attention to their competitors. So I don't know if this game was developed in-house or whatever, but I literally wouldn't be surprised if if this was a Nintendo, like an actual Nintendo game by Nintendo proper, if the folks who made this had never played a first-person shooter before. It's like I read something crazy where like Nintendo, back when they had the Wii or the Wii U, they're creating their online system, and Nintendo people have always sort of mocked their like online system, like even back hold on, the B button. Oh, there we go. And then we can just shoot this guy. That's cool. There was something where like people were talking about like how poor Nintendo's like online systems were compared to like PlayStation and Xbox, and they talked to someone big, like I think it was Shigeru Miyamoto, or like maybe it wasn't him, but it was like the guy who was like in charge of their online system, and he was like, yeah, I've never tried Xbox Live or PS3, and people were like, what? Because it's like, you know, I understand you work for Nintendo, like you're going to be a little loyal to Nintendo and stuff, but it's like you're trying to develop an online system and you literally have never tried one before. You don't even know what the competitors are like. Like that just seems like very, I don't know, it's like a dereliction of duty, you know? Like I don't know what it is. But it just sort of strikes me that it's like, oh, of course Nintendo would have no idea what they're doing online and wouldn't even bother to look at what other people are doing just to get ideas to see like what works, what doesn't, what do customers expect. And it explains like why Nintendo had like a very paltry online system for the longest time. I mean, I don't actually use Nintendo's online system much these days. I have a Switch, but I don't really do any online gaming with it anymore. I briefly did with Mario Maker 2. Me and a friend of mine would play that for a bit, but then I let my online subscription lapse because the Switch is the system I use the least. But anyway, oh, the barrels explode. That's cool. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the Switch is the system that I use the least, and it just ended up being that, I'm getting so sidetracked here, sorry. I'm like in the middle of a firefight and it's really distracting. Come on, just die already. Alright, and you too, buddy. You too. He's like jumping, trying not to get killed. Alright, we got him. That was pretty fun though, I like that. Kinda like that. This game seems quite easy, but I mean we are in just like level 2, so... Wait, what did it say I was supposed to do? I think blow up barrels or something. Watch out, boys.
We're gonna fly in a light tank and some more.
Ooh, a light tank. Yeah, man, this is very, very Halo-esque. But anyway, yes, it would, you know, I don't know what Nintendo's online system is like these days. When I did try it on the Switch, it was a little improved, but I still feel like, I don't know, like, Nintendo is still phoning it in a little bit. I guess when you're as big as Nintendo, you're allowed to once in a while phone things in. But it's just, of course, Nintendo would have no idea what's on the other systems. You know, like, I don't know, like, maybe that's super honorable. Like, maybe that's not a dereliction of duty. Maybe Nintendo are like the last samurais, you know, where it's like Xbox and Sony, they're busy, like, trying out one another's games, looking for things they can steal, you know, just desperately trying to copy every feature off one another. And Nintendo's like, no, there is no honor in that. We will make our own way. And they, like, literally, like, forbid their employees from even using... how do we do this?
Pressing the Z button.
Z button. Yeah, baby. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is so Halo, it's nuts. Boom.
This is it, Commander. Get over that bridge and destroy that
Machine gun tower. This actually feels pretty fun. Yeah, this is totally like a 3D version of Cannon Fodder if you've never played Cannon Fodder before. This is 100% like a 3D version of that. Which is great, actually. Turns out it's exactly what I wanted it to be. You know, like if they were to make a 3D cannon fodder, this is what I would want it to be. This is great. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, I don't really use Nintendo's online services so much these days. In my mind, Nintendo's a bit of a legacy company where, like I will always cherish many games from their roster. But I've said this many times. Once you get to the N64, Nintendo kind of like lost me as a customer. Like I didn't really play the N64. I was onto the PlayStation. We've played some decent games on the N64, but like nothing has like totally blown me away. And I think it's like I just sort of outgrew the games they were making at the time. And I know even now, like everyone loves those new Zelda games and stuff, and power to you if you do. But I tried. What's that big one that was on the Wii U and it was also on the Switch? Whatever that one is. Forget the name of it now. It was fine, but I mean, in my mind, like, give me a 2D pixel art sprite Zelda, and I'll play that every time. You know, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, whatever. The 3D ones just never really appealed to me. I don't know, just, you know, wasn't the games that I grew up with. And it's weird, because it's not like I don't like 3D games, but it's like, I see the appeal. I see why people like those games, because they have all the same mechanics of the original Zeldas. But for me, it's like, they just never brought my interest back. So it's like, I just never kind of got into them again. So, like, when it comes to Nintendo, like, you know, like, Mario Wonder, like, yeah, I'm going to play that game. It looks great. It looks great. Like, Nintendo, nobody does a Mario platformer like Nintendo. Nobody even copycats it to the same degree. Even back in the day, we all knew Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't as good as Mario, but we played Sonic because we had Sega Genesis eyes. And, you know, what else were you going to play on it? In fact, I asked for a Sega Genesis growing up just because I wanted to play Sonic, and I really did. I liked Sonic, but at the end of the day, it's like, which one stands the test of time better? It's like, I just have to say Mario, you know, like, truthfully, it's like, as much as I enjoy Sonic, I like playing Mario just a little bit more. So, yeah, I don't know what the point of this rant was. In fact, I think I lost it along the way, but there you go. Point made. Anyway, I don't know how to skip these stupid cutscenes from these despicable Russians. But I wish they would let me go back to the battlefield and slaughter them all.
The Tundran army is no longer yours to command.
Blah, blah, blah.
You would replace me.
This cutscene's making me sleepy. Ugh. Who's this supposed to appeal to? It's like a cartoon about serious war, but also a cartoon. Were kids interested in this? We're 20-year-olds. We're old, decrepit bags of bones like myself interested in it. I don't know. But they could have at least made it skippable. That's all I'm saying. Make the cutscene that you love. Let the player skip it if they don't want to watch it. Alright, now we got Colonel Austin. We'll do another mission or two. I feel like this game is decent. Like, you know, it's essentially sort of like Halo. It's sort of like Halo, but Halo meets cannon fodder, I'd say. I think there were sequels to this too, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure there's Battalion... What is this, Battalion Wars? I think there's Battalion Wars 2 and 3. I might... those might be worth checking out. We'll see. Okay, yes. Anytime you want to start, game.
Let's get going.
Anytime. Okay, here we go. Alright. Finally, they decided we'd seen enough cutscene. They were like, we made our point.
Looks like the Tundrans got here first. Remember what General
Okay, so I think I'm out of range. There we go. Alright, so that bar on the left, I think, is my ammo. Yeah, that white bar. I thought that was enemy health. And I was like, wow, it goes down pretty consistently. But I understand. You have to, like, actually have eyes on the bad guy, and he has to be in range and stuff. I get it. So once you've locked onto an enemy, the game plays quite well. but before you're locked on, the controls leave a little to be desired. Try and blow up that barrel. Boom. What you call strategy.
And follow the mountain trail. Hurry, Commander. The Tundras could strike at any moment.
The Tundras could strike at any. Not if I have anything to do with it, bub. Channeling my inner Wolverine. I'm Canadian after all. Pretty sure so is he. I think they changed it in the Wolverine movie. But actually, okay, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody who knows Wolverine trivia better than me might be able to correct me, but I think Wolverine was actually, he was born in what would eventually become Canada, but he was born there before Canada became a country. So I think he's actually owned by the Hudson Bay Company, which is, so in Canada, there was a big department store called Hudson's Bay, which was sort of like Macy's. You know, you can think of it as Macy's. But it basically traces its origin all the way back to like a company that's set up in the Canadian wilderness near a bay called the Hudson's Bay. And I don't really know exactly what they did or anything else beyond that, but it's like, you know, a frontier company that survived and then became a department store chain, which went out of business in like the 90s or 2000s because everyone just stopped going to department stores. Okay, so I'm supposed to be doing something here. Anyway, long story short, the can I get in this thing or hold on?
Attack at the rear of the base. Head for the gold star, Commander.
Head for the gold star. Where is that?
To an MG nest using the L button. Now use the C stick to select an individual rifle grunt.
Okay.
Now press the Y button to order your
the Y. Ah, there we go. It's a little more complicated than I want it to be. Get in there, buddy.
To have your soldier leave his post, target the MG nest and press
here comes bad guys, I think. Get them, boys!
Commander, you have garrisoned that MG nest with a bazooka veteran. Are you sure this is strategically sound?
He's like, you put the bazooka guys in the machine gun nest. Are you sure that's tactical? I'm not sure. And let me go ahead and switch this up. If I may be so bold. Why? Anyway, long story short, I'm pretty sure Wolverine was property of the Hudson's Bay Company, which is basically like, you know, if Captain America was owned by Macy's, which is actually pretty funny to think about. Eventually Hudson's Bay's territory would become Canada, but I think just if you look at Wolverine's birth date, it's like technically it wasn't Canada yet. Just kind of funny. He's an honorary Canadian though, we'll take him. We'll take him. I don't know what I'm supposed to do over here. I kind of wasn't listening to the general.
Message log records each of my radio broadcasts. Use it when you remind yourself of your orders.
Okay. Let's check out this so-called mission log. There are multiple vehicles approaching. Get your bazooka veterans to the Silver Star. Probe their defenses. Report back to me. Stay alert. I have a feeling they're searching for weak points. Okay. You know, I do kind of dig this, how it's like there's missions and you have to protect the base and all this stuff. It almost feels like you're sort of like a command and conquer unit on the front lines, you know? Just kind of cool. I guess it also reminds me a little bit of Advanced Wars. But is there a dude over here, by the way? I see like a little green dot. Oh, hey, you. Come with me.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Come on, buddy. We got machine guns guarding all this stuff. Okay, here come more bad guys. Everybody attack! Attack! Heavy recon. I guess you can like order your bazooka guys. Oh god. There we go. It's actually pretty satisfying to watch your dudes like just wreck the enemy. There we go.
But there is a second wave of Tundran infantry ready to strike. Head
More
for the Silver
infantry.
Star.
It never bloody ends, does it?
Because here I come. Rifle Squad 2, attack!
Get 'em, boys. Don't hold back. Let's do a little pre-war chant. USA, USA, USA. Anybody? USA. Okay, well, I'm not going to be the only one doing it, but I will say, I think it would have improved morale. I think the machine gun nests, actually maybe not. I was going to say they probably have it covered, but might as well go help these guys. All right, just go get them, boys. Go nuts.
Excellent work, Commander. But if I know the Tundran, they are merely gearing up for an even more devastating attack.
More devastating. They're still... Oh no! Ignore and continue. Uh-oh. The game just froze. Damn it. You know, in some ways, that's what I get for not bothering to get out my actual GameCube to play this one. Although I will say, it's not like games never froze when you played them on disc. That was always the worst if you had a game that was, you know, had a scratch or something. I know the PS1 was horrible for that. Games would get scratched and you couldn't play them. I actually had a beef with Microsoft for a while there, years ago. My Xbox got Red Ring of Death, and it went in for repairs, and it came back, and then it was screwing up games, and it like literally killed one of my games. And Microsoft refused to repair it or for free. I mean, they repair it for money. They refused to repair it or replace the game, and I got really mad at them, really frustrated. And then it's like I literally went to PS3 for a long time. Like I was like, you know what? That's the last dime I'm ever spending with you, Microsoft. And I literally left. Like I think a year or two later, I finally went and got my Xbox 360 repaired. I went to like a Chinese mall in Scarborough, which is in Toronto, and they like not only repaired it, they like hacked it for me so I could like play whatever I wanted on it. Because I was like, Microsoft owes me money, man. Like, I'm not. What am I gonna go buy? It was like Fallout 3 and something else that I had purchased at full price when it came out, and Microsoft's Xbox wrecked my discs because they made an inferior product, the original Xbox 360. So yeah, I was mad at them for a long time and told them I wouldn't give them any more money. And so I moved. That's what got me to switch partially to the PS3, and I did that for a while. And I had a hacked Xbox 360 for quite a while there. I still so it's like I had my beef with Microsoft, and I didn't want to spend any more money on the Xbox 360. I largely just sort of stopped playing it as a result. But when the Batman Arkham games came out, Arkham Asylum, I bought like the collector's edition of that came with the giant Batarang and stuff. And that I bought, that was on Xbox 360. And then later I bought it on PS3 as well, because the PS3 version had Joker that you could play as for some of the challenge maps. And yeah, so I literally purchased that game twice because I loved it so much. That was one game where I was like, sometimes you got to vote with your dollars, you know? You got to show support to developers, and you got to buy things just so that it's incentive for them to make more, right? Like they made 2 more Arkham games. You guys are welcome. You know, my sales clearly tipped the balance. But no, those games did so well that, like, of course they're going to make sequels. So, sort of like if there's something you cherish, you should try to support it financially. I definitely believe that. And that's why the TV show The Orville, for the longest time, I never even bothered with that show. I was just like, it looks like a really, really dumb, lowbrow, stupid Family Guy version of Star Trek. And then I watched the first episode, and I was like, it's a dumb, lowbrow, Family Guy version of Star Trek. But it has a little bit of heart, so I'll give it a couple more episodes. And I feel like that pilot to that show does not do it service, because the pilot is unlike any other episode. I mean, isn't that always the case with pilots, where like the first episode really is not too indicative of the rest of the show? And The Orville literally abandoned its idea of being a Star Trek parody and just literally became Star Trek The Next Generation. Like, for real. And it became, like, for a while there, it was like one of my favorite new shows. It only stopped becoming my favorite new show because they didn't make a new season for like 2 years there, and I was like waiting. But you may say, like, wait, it's by the creator Family Guy, right? Like, how could it be funny? How could it be good? And again, it stopped trying to be a comedy, but it had Star Trek kind of humor in it. And when I mean Star Trek kind of humor, if you go back and watch The Next Generation, there's a lot of really, like, dry comedy bits that are actually hilarious. Like, for instance, the whole thing about, you know, Worf liking prune juice. You know, he's this, like, formidable Klingon warrior. Guinan gives him prune juice, and he's like, a warrior's drink, you know? And, like, like, that's funny. Star Trek The Next Generation had a lot of little bits like that, where it had this, like, little bit of humor mixed in. But beyond that, it was a very serious science fiction show. And that's exactly what the Orville became. And, yeah, so, great show. And where the hell was I going with this? The Orville... God damn it, I forgot again. The problem is, it's like I go off on these rants while I'm playing the game, and I'm like I'm half playing, I'm half talking, and then I don't do either of them very well. Oh, voting with your dollars, that's what it was. The whole rant about the Orville basically boils down to this. Even though I had watched all the episodes, I went out afterwards, after I watched them all, and I bought the DVD of the entire first season. And I think to this day, that DVD is unopened. It's still on my bookshelf. It's just sitting there. In fact, it might have been season 1 and 2 on the DVD. I don't really remember. It was like 20 or 30 bucks. I went to Best Buy and got it. I bought it even though I had seen all the episodes, even though I didn't need a DVD to watch the episodes, because I wanted to vote with my dollars. I basically wanted to say, this show is fresh. This is awesome. For years and years and years, I've just lamented the fact that there never was a true sequel to Star Trek The Next Generation. You know, DS9 is cool. It has its moments. It has some really good episodes like Duet and Pale Moon Darkly. Is it Pale Moon Darkly? The one where they try to create the evidence to get the Dominion into... Garrick and Sisko create the evidence to try and get the Dominion into the war. Like, there's some top-tier episodes in DS9. Probably some of my favorite moments in all of Trek. But, on the whole, I would say Next Generation I prefer. And, you know, they just never made another series like Next Gen. Voyager was sort of close, although it was a little cheesier. And then, you know, once New Trek showed up, it's like, well, that's it. Like, you're never going to have another Star Trek The Next Generation. And to discover the Orville and realize, holy shit, somebody actually made... It's not called Star Trek, but this is Star Trek. Like, are you kidding me? This is Star Trek. It's Star Trek in everything but name. All but name. So anyway, yeah, I bought the DVDs because I was like, I know the show didn't do too good ratings-wise. I know it has a bit of a cult following, but if I can throw them one more sale, you know, like, if everyone who loved it did this, then maybe they actually would make another season. So yeah. Again, not that my single individual sale mattered, but I think having this mentality, if we all had this mentality, it would, like, help support the things we love, and we get more of it. So yeah, if you love something, and, you know, even if you don't necessarily need to buy the DVD, sometimes it's worth buying the DVD, I'd say. And that is a small part of why I purchased Arkham Asylum twice. Even though it seems financially like a terrible, like, if you tell an accountant that, it's just a terrible fiscal decision. You know, like, they'll just scoff at you, like, what are you doing, man? You should invest that in a low-tier blue chips bond. Get a nice green tea yield on that baby. You know, 40 years prime interest. But call me crazy. I'd rather throw those 20 bones to some creatives to make the things I love. So yeah, vote with your dollars, folks. Vote with your dollars. Blue chip stock. That's the word I was thinking of. What did I say? You know where I know about stock terms? Penny stock, blue chip, all that. The first is there's an old DOS game called Jones, Life in the Fast Lane. I've played it on my channel. That's where I first learned those those terms, penny stock, blue chip and stuff. Don't 100% understand what they mean, but years and years later I watched The Wolf of Wall Street, and I think they talk about blue chip stock, and I think they're supposed to be like very reliable stocks or something. So all my knowledge of the stock market comes from an old video game I played when I was a kid and The Wolf of Wall Street. And that's the limit of my fiduciary knowledge. So, you know, take my money tips, my financial advice. Take it in light of those two facts, and then do what you will with it. Do what you will. Alright, we're doing pretty good at slaughtering these guys. Oh, I'm aiming down for some reason. Come on, guys. Also, can my guys get health packs? I seem to have lost many of my dudes. Oh no, wait, I only ever had 4 bazooka guys. I just had a ton of other guys, though. Alright, get them! Also, why do I have to tell you guys to shoot at these things? How about a new standing order? You all run around me, and when you see something bad, you just open fire with everything you got. Every mother effing gun you have, why don't you just fire it at the enemies? Not sure why I'm even involved in this decision. I know I'm the battlefield commander, but until further notice, if you guys could just kill everything, that'd be great.
I did not think we could take this much punishment.
Oh, look, gas.
You have defended yourselves courageously so far, but now
Okay, here they come.
strike at the very heart of your defenses.
She's so happy. Like, look at her little face there, but it's like she sounds like she's very upset.
To fly her infantry directly inside the perimeter of the base.
Oh, there's something up there shooting at us. Oh my god. Alright, kill it. And kill these guys too. They dropped a Chinook helicopter on us. I only know that name because of Command and Conquer. Most of my world knowledge you could probably trace back to a video game or a movie.
Not so fast, Colonel.
Most of my world knowledge. Like, I only know what flux capacitors are because of Back to the Future. I never went to engineering school or anything. It's funny how that works, you know? Where particular knowledge comes from. Alright, everybody. Okay, everybody, follow me. Oh my god! It stalled again. Well, I think I will call it there, even though we only got 2.5 missions in, but we did that 0.5 twice. I'm rounding up to 3. Let me just reset this and we can talk while this ends. Oh, wait. I just clicked, so I got an error and it said, do you want to ignore or proceed? And I just said ignore. And now it's working, so.
Press the B button to engage high traction mode.
High traction. Oh, that's cool. Let's try this. Yeah. High traction. Oh, we're like climbing a mountain. No, we're not. I think we're falling. Oh god, what's happening? Oh god. Okay. New plan. Let's use the roads. I was pressing the B button, right? Yeah, I was. Follow me, folks. Alright, our team, our crack team of dudes. Oh yeah. You want a tango, man? Get him, everybody. Boom.
Incredible. I may have underestimated you, Colonel.
Everyone's cheering. You can see them like, yeah, yippee! Hooray, yippee! Well, this has been Battalion Wars, and I have to say, minor gripes. Unskippable cutscenes are almost unforgivable, and truly they are the worst, so I really do dislike that part. And it's one of those things, like, even if I was, like, shutting up and I wasn't streaming and I was playing this for myself, I probably wouldn't want to sit through all these cutscenes. So unskippable cutscenes, I don't know what a developer's thinking on that one. The inverted controls to start are weird, but you can fix that. I do kind of wish they had normal twin stick controls, but the fact that you can lock onto enemies and then the left stick makes a lot more sense, makes it manageable. So even though I would say these are more minor gripes with the controls, the bigger thing for me is the unskippable cutscenes. But all that aside, those are all sort of incidental issues to the actual gameplay. I think the actual gameplay is fun. I think the world is kind of cool. You got this sort of Advanced Wars cannon fodder, wormsy feel to it. The idea of the game is pretty cool. It's sort of like, you know, Squad Commander meets Halo meets Advanced Wars meets cannon fodder. Like, yeah. So I think this is a cool game. I am interested in like the sequels actually, because I wonder if the control scheme got better. But even still, if you were to go play this, I think it's very playable. I think one of the interesting things about games like this is that if this was a game trying to do like realistic looking graphics, it would probably look very dated. But because it's sort of like a stylistic kind of cartoony, you know, all the vehicles are kind of like misshapen and enlarged and stuff in fun ways, and the humans aren't exact human proportions, they're sort of like cartoons. I feel like that all works to like keep it looking good. So like I would say this game even looks pretty good, you know, even by today's standards. So yeah. I don't know, what do you guys think of Battalion Wars here? Is it the game that you played back in the day? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you only mildly have an opinion? Whatever your opinion, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope you have enjoyed yourselves here today. If you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all this stuff. And other than that, I will catch you in the next one, as I just realized I left my whole squad behind, so I'm doing this whole mission solo. This is a commando behind the scenes. Oh, excuse me. Solo run. I think I just blew that guy up with an ammo dump explosion. And we died! Okay. Oh, you just get to take over another guy. Oh, that's cool. Oh, now I'm a bazooka guy. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. I wonder if I could... I just want to try a bazooka guy to take out a tank here. Boom, boom. Bazookas don't have long range, it seems. But they are pretty satisfying once you start landing hits. Boom, I got him. How about this guy? I'll bazooka you, bro. Oh man, the bazookas actually kind of suck versus infantry. I guess that's the trade-off, right? Like you're supposed to use them against big targets, not like little guys. Anyway, yeah, it's been fun. I would recommend this game. I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, tune back in soon for yet another game from the book, 1,000 Video Games Play Before You Die. Until then, you take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon, guys. Peace.
Now get behind the wheel of that recon.